Hello, I'm just going to make a short video discussing Flight 77 and the radar data, and what I'm going to discuss is there's two sets of radar data and they show two different flight paths, and I'm just going to explain all this and we'll make of this what we will. Again, I'm using official data. So let's just get into this because I want to really discuss this. So what we're looking at here is the flight path of Flight 77. Now this is taken from the DCC radar data. Now this was released under a Freedom of Information, and a chap called 911 Maps, he put in all the lat longs for the returns off the radar data and he came up with this flight path. Now I've verified this by going into the information because I have a copy of the actual lat long for this flight data and the radar data, so I've double checked this. Now this flight path is very significant because what it's showing is that Flight 77 didn't turn round on the Kentucky and Ohio border. It did not turn round. It carried straight on and it was picked up on radar, albeit I think the transponder was switched off, which I'm going to explain in a moment why there was confusion with air traffic control. So I'm going to show you a piece of evidence in a moment about that. So this is the flight path. So instead of what the official story said, it turned round here on the border with Kentucky and Ohio and headed back to Washington and eventually crashing into the Pentagon allegedly at 9:37. It actually carried on, the plane carried on past Kentucky all the way over to Missouri and heading towards Kansas. Now I have seen the real time where there's a turn here and it heads back towards Missouri and then eventually goes off radar. Now I'm going to try and make a video about that at a later date, so I'm just stuck with the screenshots I've made at the moment. Now just to double check this, I was looking for evidence to see whether Flight 77 or any talk that it flew over Missouri. So what I came up with was this here. Just find it. Now this is a transcript from the air traffic control documents which I have, and this is all going to be part of my digital archive I'm building, by the way, so everybody will have access to all the information that I've gleaned most of my information from using the official data, which is full of discrepancies, as you're going to see now. So at 14:31 there's talk regarding tracking Flight 77, American Airlines 77, over Missouri. So there's discussion or talk here of tracking him, and they mean AA77, they've even put question marks, over Missouri. So I'm suggesting here that they were obviously looking at tracking that flight over that neck of the woods and flight path. So that is another piece of evidence there that we're looking at. Now here's a third piece of evidence that appeared on CNN in a news report which I managed to get hold of, and I've uploaded this in and just explain what it is. It shows that the flight path of the plane did not turn round, it carried on straight, and then eventually the transponders turned off. So this is what it is. Now this was on Flight Explorer, which is a real-time data in conjunction with FAA, very accurate. However, it's showing a discrepancy. Now I'm just going to turn to the video of this which I uploaded, and I'll put it on a loop so people could see it. So I'm just going to play it here. So you can see the plane flying there, and where it makes the turn, now it carries on straight. It jumps straight, it shows you the path, and it's still lit up in green at that point. Now that is because it's still giving its information, the transponder's still switched on. So as you can see, that plane's flying there. So where it goes to make the turn, it shows it then straight ahead there, as I've stopped it, and then it goes transparent, which is when the transponder was turned off. So it's showing it not making the turn. It shows the plane was still transmitting the transponder, and it was traveling straight in a straight line towards Missouri and through Kentucky and Missouri. So that's what we're looking at there. Now I just want to take you to the files, which is the DCC file. Right, I just want to explain and illustrate the data here from the DCC radar data, which was brought out under a Freedom of Information request. Now this shows at 9:37, which is here, 9:37. It's actually 13:37, but that's universal time. Taken into the time over in Washington, it's actually 9:37. So at 9:37, when the plane is about to crash into the Pentagon, the lat long, which is the latitude and longitude coordinates, are 38.767 north and 88.6 west. Now this is a major discrepancy with the Rades84 radar data. Again, these are both official pieces of data for American Airlines 77. Now I'm just going to show you the Rades for the same time frame, which is 9:37, and show the coordinates for that. So what we're looking at here is the official Rades84 radar pieces of data for American Airlines 77. Now if we go down here to 9:37 exactly, which is the time when the plane would have been about to crash into the Pentagon, allegedly, we have the latitude and longitude coordinates here. They're actually put into decimals here, so here's the full latitude and longitude, but these are the decimal, which make it a little bit more easier to read out. So it's actually 38.8505, which is quite similar to the DCC. However, the longitude, which is on the west, so the north is the latitude and the longitude on the west is 77.1156, which is a major discrepancy with what I've just shown you with the DCC longitude coordinate. Now that places the plane on here close to the Pentagon, or on the way to the Pentagon, ready to crash. However, on the DCC data, it places the plane over near Kentucky and Missouri. So that is a major conflict, and which is nowhere near the Pentagon. So I just thought I'd clarify the official data sets here. What we're looking at, so when the plane should have been here in Washington, when it hit the Pentagon, the plane was over in this vicinity according to the DCC radar. Now, which is in total conflict with the Rades84, which I've always been very dubious about, to be honest with everyone. So, which Callum Douglas did a whole lecture about that, which is on my blog, and I think it's uploaded at BitChute. if anybody wants to watch that. So this is the conflict. So we got the plane crashing here, yet we've got radar data, air traffic control and CNN footage showing the plane didn't turn around and carried on. So that's really what I wanted to discuss. Now, in the real time footage I have of this, which I'm going to try and screenshot and record, it shows the plane actually does a U-turn here and heads back to Missouri before it eventually disappears off radar near St. Louis Airport. So this is purely my speculation. Is it possible that Flight 77 landed at Kentucky Airport, at St. Louis Airport? However, I'm just making these, drawing conclusions from this evidence, because we have two lots of official evidence which tell two different stories. So I just thought I'd pass that on to everyone. Give me a like. If anybody's got any ideas about this, wants to contact me or leave a comment, please feel free. Please check out my blog at mark-conlon.blogspot.com. Also check out my BitChute, Mark Conlon Blogspot BitChute. That's probably the main video place at the moment. I am developing the other Odyssey channel and the Rumble channel, and I also have a Daily Motion channel which has been there for a while. So all under the same name, Mark Conlon Blogspot. So check there, and I'll be speaking again soon. Hopefully I can get a screenshot recording of the flight path in action that 911 maps made, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks as well for all your comments and interactions from some of my subscribers. I really appreciate that. So take care everyone, and I'll speak again soon. Bye for now.